All right. Welcome back, terrestrials, to another episode of whatever the fuck we do here. In this episode, we're going to be continuing movie reviews, and this week we're doing the Disco Godfather with Rudy Ray Moore.
Right.
Have you heard of it?
I have.
I
I
have too.
watched it.
I
That would be
have
great.
too.
No,
No.
what the fuck?
I don't know
I'm
what
just
you're talking about.
shooting from the hip this week
Yeah.
and stuff, Jacob.
Um, the first thing I have to say about this movie is this makes Black Dynamite so much better. Because
Yeah.
now, like, I never seen this one,
Mhm.
so like now I know where it all comes from in Black Dynamite,
Yeah.
and I'm like, holy shit, this is so much better now.
It's real. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
And that's one. I mean, there's like 50 that I know we talked about it during our Black Dynamite talk, and is that there are like 50 movies that like Black Dynamite pays homage to.
Yeah,
And this
yeah.
is definitely one of them. So
Mhm. Yeah. Um. All right, so let's hop into it.
what was
Obviously,
scene stealer?
scene stealer.
Show
Pro-
stealer.
Probably. Oh, okay. Show stealer. I mean, it's obviously Rudy Ray Moore.
It's Rudy Ray Moore. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just
yeah. I mean, like, dude,
he's great.
he's great in such a bad way,
Yeah,
and part of it is because he doesn't realize he's not great. Like, he
yeah,
thinks he is making a fucking masterpiece,
of
and
course.
it's not. And is not solid acting. So
No,
what he ended up doing was actually making a masterpiece, but in a different way, not
yeah,
in like the traditional like term.
yeah,
He made a masterpiece of its own by doing what he did.
yes.
And yeah, it's and you know he's blowing coke like fucking
I
crazy.
don't I mean at his
I think
age.
they just sprinkle that shit into the fucking air system wherever he was. Yeah, that
Yeah,
shit, dude, man, that movie was hilarious.
yeah. Like, yeah. Rudy Ray Moore does needs more praise. Needs more. I mean, just the way that he the character he creates
Mhm.
with that dialogue and that the way he talks
Yep.
and all of the one-liners, which we'll get to.
Mhm.
But this character, because they're all the same character, you know.
Yeah.
Every Rudy Ray Moore movie, he changes names and
Yeah.
identities, kind of deal. But it's just
Right.
Rudy Ray Moore's Thursday. That's what it should have
Yeah.
been called. Rudy Ray Moore on Thursday. You know. Uh, but yeah. So Rudy Ray Moore.
Yeah.
Breakers got a breaker.
Uh the rest of the movie, the plot, the acting, including his um that this might be the first time that the show stealer is also the show breaker.
Yeah.
Like that's no yeah, I mean, yeah, the rest of the movie, like there's just the terrible acting. The
Yeah.
plot wasn't insane, like it
No.
wasn't crazy or out of the like it made sense for
Yeah.
what the movie was. Like, yeah,
Yeah. It
it's your
had a
typical type of action
simple,
situation.
coherent idea, I guess you could
Mhm.
say, but
Yeah, yeah.
the outlandishness of the movie is just it's crazy. But that's where it is a good bad movie,
Mhm.
where it becomes entertaining, but you're going, what?
Yeah,
Like, like I don't think PCP, I mean Angel Dust works that way.
yeah,
I don't think it works
yeah.
that.
I mean, that whole idea is a whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
We'll get to that whole thing. But yeah, the plot is simple enough. It's coherent for the most part. Um, but yeah, it's not going to draw emotion out of you. Like you're
Yeah.
not going to cry, you're not going to feel bad, you're not going to like, you're not going to be like, oh man, damn, that does suck. You know what I mean? Like you're just going
Oh,
to be like,
but what
it's
about
the
Bucky?
yeah. Who is Bucky and what has he had?
Yeah,
Where's Bucky?
what has he had? Yeah. Uh but yeah, there are just moments in this movie that just go off in the weird direction of like a script writer just going, and then this is where the exorcism takes place,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah,
uh it's just these far-fetching ideas. It's like Rudy was like, yeah, all right, I want to be like, I want to have a show at a club where I
hmm
guess I'm just the main focus. It's like
yeah.
everybody clap your hands for the Disco Godfather. It's like, what the fuck is he doing? It's he's just gonna spin records
I
and
wonder if that's real though. If you happen across this video and you happen to still be watching, is that a real thing? Like if you're from that time era, like did clubs have just like a personality that was like the main event at the show? Like
maybe,
let
you
us
know.
know in the comment section
Everybody
because
clap your hands for the Disco Godfather and
yeah,
stuff. And then Rudy just gyrates to the camera.
yeah,
And then like he's up there like pretending to spin records and stuff.
hmm
But like
yeah,
everybody just goes to the show to see what? Like, because you can see all these people like sitting
yeah,
in tables and booths, and
yeah.
they're just gonna watch this guy spin records,
I
but
mean, I guess that's just dance clubs back
I
then. That's
guess.
how it worked. I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
you went and you chilled at your booth with your boys, and then you got on the dance floor at some
Yeah.
point and tried to, holler at women.
Yeah.
I guess that's just what it was.
No.
It, I don't
So
know.
you had to go outside and smoke angel dusts. So I will tell you though that
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
watch or like the only part, there's one moment where the dancers they do the roller skating thing.
hmm
Like they have their roller skate, and I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You go and you watch the dancers. Maybe if it was
hmm
dancers,
Yeah.
like that's a
Well,
show, kind of.
Rudy cut a rug.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he danced. So, hey.
Not as good as, I will say, the one, like when you're watching all of
hmm
the club footage,
hmm
there's one like moment where like my eyes can't like take off of, like I can't stop watching this one character. And I bet you know who I'm talking about. He's always there, but he is the whitest guy in the world with a
Yeah.
Prince Valiant haircut. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, where did he come from? How did he get into this club? Because this looks like predominantly African American, and there's just
Yeah.
some white guy just sitting there doing his thing and stuff. And he's like this skinny white dorky guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like all I can think of.
He put the money up to make the movie. So
But
he was
yeah,
like, I want to be in
he's
the
just,
movie. And they're like,
uh,
fine, go
yeah.
stand over there.
The producer was like, I'd like my son in the movie. Like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what that
oh
there had to
hell, I'll
been
put
that.
him in the background or something.
Yeah,
Uh
yeah,
but yeah, I just could not take my eyes off of that, just that little kid. He looked like a little kid.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um so yeah, that's I can
And
understand the breaker.
he stuck out like a white dude in a black club. So
Well,
like
with a
it was
Prince
like
Valiant haircut, a
yeah,
bowl
like
cut, if
yeah,
anything.
yeah. Yeah, when I say white dude, I mean the whitest
Yeah,
dude that you could think of, like
yeah,
80s white, like big frame glasses, like yeah, just
yeah,
bowl cut, like yeah, just
yeah. He wasn't like a cool, like
nah,
looking,
yeah,
like
didn't
if
have
he
an
got it,
afro,
yeah,
like
like, or
didn't
even like his hair
like
slicked
his shirt,
back,
yeah, his shirt wasn't like he was
yeah, a
just
little
he
no.
looked like he was there to audit the club. That's what he looked like he
I think
was
he had
there
a
to do.
vest on,
Yeah, yeah,
but yeah, so that I can understand that breaker. I really don't have a breaker. I mean, yeah, everything the breaker, because
yeah,
it is a bad movie, but that's what
Right.
makes it good,
Right. Yeah.
so eh.
Yeah. That's
uh
why I said it's like it's the show stealer and the show breaker.
yeah,
Like the movie itself is both.
yeah. uh let's go to special effects. Let's do special effects. Were there any special effects in this movie?
Nah, I mean, yeah, technically,
Yeah,
but like,
technical.
but no,
Yeah,
it's just like the edits. I mean, it's
yeah,
not special effects so much; it's just edits.
yeah. What the main thing I was thinking about is when in the movie Rudy Ray Moore is forced to do angel dust, and he starts having a freak out because he sees his mama, and like that whole like thing where she has a karate sword,
Yeah,
and then she's got like vampire teeth and shit,
yeah.
and like those are pretty good effects, but they're kind of weird at the same time, so
Those are just like trippy edits. Because
yeah,
like Bucky has a trip too,
yeah,
and he sees like the demon, and it's just like that's just somebody dressed up in like normal, makeup that you would think a demon looks like, and
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
he's
And
just
then
going,
the basketball, his arms fall off,
yeah,
and then just
yeah,
sitting there in bed, like freaking out and stuff.
yeah.
You know who plays Bucky?
Mm-mm.
You ever seen The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. with uh Ash with Bruce Campbell?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy who's in his sidekick.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Weird.
yeah,
So that
like
guy
that.
was in two movies.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
big dude with the mullet. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
Bucky.
yeah. That's crazy. I didn't even put that
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
Hmm.
All right, so yeah, special effects, nothing special,
Mhm.
about these effects.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
okay, we'll go to soundtrack because I do really like the soundtrack.
yeah. The soundtrack's awesome.
Yeah,
Like
because
I don't even particularly like disco music,
nah,
but when it's in a movie like this or Black Dynamite or anything along these lines where disco is part of it or
yeah.
that era is part of it, it goes real well.
But even like the small ones, like okay, when he's tripping out seeing his mama,
Hmm.
that guitar like
Hmm. Yeah,
noise that they're making. That I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah.
Just like that crazy kind of sound, and I could see Rudy being like, "Yeah, do that shit. That shit's good."
Yeah.
Um,
That's probably who the white guy was.
yeah.
He was the guitar player for that
Uh,
one single thing.
yeah. I did that stuff for Rudy.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go cinematography, pretty bland, pretty
Yeah,
it
again,
works.
the choppy cutting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit is.
I like this movie. It doesn't have it that much compared to other Rudy Ray Moore movies,
Uh-huh.
but you can hear when they click the mic because like it goes sound and then action, but they do it
Yeah.
reverse sometimes. So you'll hear like on the mic
Yeah.
before they do a scene sometimes. Like the one that I remember is Rudy Ray Moore is in the back, and the one his like assistant is coming back there, and you can kind of
Hmm.
see her like standing off to the side for them to say action, and for him to finally come in. And if you look closely, you can see like her shadow literally like standing there and stuff. But before that
Yeah.
scene starts, you can hear the crack of the mic
Hmm.
from because someone turned
I didn't
the
notice
sound
any
on.
of that.
Yeah. It takes special type. I know it early Rudy Ray, like in Dolomite
Yeah.
and Human Tornado, that's all over the place. Like there is not a sound guy,
Right.
there is
Right.
just a person that they said, yeah, just make sure we can hear the shit.
Yeah.
So but yeah, cinematography, it's fine. I can see
Yeah.
the picture. There's nothing too crazy. Make sure
Yeah.
that you hide Rudy Ray Moore's kung fu moves, because
Yeah.
he's like missing a mile away, but
Yeah.
it's great.
They didn't
So,
even do a good job at hiding them
no,
several times throughout the
no.
movie.
Talk, motherfucker, talk. You're gonna break my armor. You know. All right, that one scene. Let's go with that one scene. What is your favorite scene in this movie?
Honestly, there's so many like hilarious ones to choose from.
Yeah.
There's like the drug rally where they're
Yeah.
like kind of advertising the drug instead of like
Like,
not.
what's this
Um,
for again?
yeah. Um, but I think my favorite is when he goes to the cops to get his license to kill back kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, because that's clearly just somebody's house that they just set some shit in, and it's like the size of one room.
Yeah.
It's like somebody's living room, and they try to make it seem like it's like all this like whole entire like area,
Yeah.
and like it's just somebody's room because you walk in halfway into the room, like the door isn't set up to be like boom, here's the entire room. Like he comes in halfway into the room, and it's just like yeah, man, great set.
Yeah.
Like it's just like a dude like do 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 do. Yes,
This is the police
policeman.
department. Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, police department.
Policeman.
Yes.
Yes. Do you need some
Yeah.
policemen? Okay, we will send one out. And
Yeah.
then it's just none of the guys are dressed in uniform.
Right.
Like they're all just in like whatever clothes they were wearing at the 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
They got picked up for this movie. Like it, yeah, that whole scene it cracks me up because there's no scene in the movie that is anything but just
Hmm.
that type of silliness. So it's not like I'm like, yeah, that scene was powerful, or yeah, that fight was really good. It's like, no, none of it was good, but that shit was hilarious to
Yeah.
me. It's like you aren't even trying to make this look like a police station. There's not a fucking thing in here that says police, and
No.
like there's a bunch of empty folders and shit. Shut up.
Nah, it's not it's about the big picture. We tell them this is the
Yeah.
police station, even though you can clearly see something that says like, live, laugh, love right above the door
Yeah,
and
yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
Like that and that, that's the charm of these
It
style of
is.
movies where
It
like
is.
movies that really just like, don't take yourself so seriously. If I
Mhm.
tell you this is the police station and I put a bunch of phones and desks in
Yeah,
there and shit, it's a motherfucking police station kind of
yeah.
deal.
It's
Um,
very like low budget, like
oh,
guerrilla,
completely.
like filmmaking. It's just like they expect you to go on the ride with them, and they
Yeah,
expect you to be like, yeah, no, that is a police station
yeah,
because I know it's supposed to be, and I know they couldn't film in a real police station, so that's just what it is. And
yeah,
you know that the back room where the main cop was, the captain was, or whatever, is the same fucking room that the drug dealers in the
yeah,
entire
yeah.
movie. So
All they got
like,
to do is move shit around. But you get that, like, okay, the part where he's getting ready to attack the whack or whatever, and he's going to the the angel dust factory, and Rudy Ray Moore is like kung fu fighting with some guys outside of a like what really looks like a condemned building,
yeah.
and some guy in some jogging suit comes by and says, "Hey, what's going on here?"
Mhm,
And Rudy like delivers his line.
mhm,
He's like, this is an angel dust factory.
mhm.
uh but if you look at the reverse, you can tell they like ran out of film because the background looks completely different, like the shade and tone, like it looked
Mhm.
later in the day, you know. And it's because yeah, we realized we needed that one scene, so we just took this actor in the back and just like, yeah, just say that shit.
Yeah.
um
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the type, but you're right, it does make the movie like charming.
yeah,
Like it is the charm in the movie. It's like
yeah,
they just went and made a fucking movie,
they
man.
went and
They
made a
had
fucking
an
movie, yeah,
yeah, they had an idea and they thought it was going to
kind
be
of.
awesome. Right. It wasn't fully flushed, but I've seen
No,
I've seen worse.
yeah,
Um and they just went and made it. They were
no,
like, "Fuck it, dude. I'll throw some kicks." And is he actually like a martial artist by any means?
hell no,
Or yeah,
hell
I didn't
no.
think so. I didn't think so.
He may have like taken like one karate class,
He took
on
the
one of those.
free like sign
Yeah,
up courses or
yeah,
whatever.
up until the point where he's like, okay, now you have to pay like $72 a month for this, and he's like, oh
Yeah.
hell no.
Yeah. I
You know
got
that,
all I need. I got
yeah,
all I need. I know how to throw a kick now.
yeah. You know that I can see more. I can
Yeah.
see him going like, and I do think this. Rudy goes, okay, this is what we need to do. What's popular, you know.
Mhm.
Everybody loves kung fu movies. Why don't we do kung fu shit? You know,
Yeah.
kung fu. Uh, let's have a positive message. So we're after who?
Mhm.
We're after drug dealers. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
we're going after the drug dealers.
This movie's right in its fucking self.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't worry about the script. We'll figure out when we get
Damn,
there.
this
Let's
is
go.
hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
That's exactly how this movie went too.
what is popular? Okay, well, disco music is really
Mhm.
popular nowadays and stuff. Okay, well, it takes place in. That's one thing about Rudy is like every one of his movies just about has something to do with a club,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
Dolomite. I can't remember Human Tornado that much,
I mean,
but
to be
this
fair,
one,
clubs were way more prevalent back then than they are now.
yeah, yeah, but it all had to do about the club and
Mhm.
what getting that club and
Yeah.
like so they made it a disco club,
Yeah.
like I know in Petey Wheatstraw the club in that one is a comedy club,
Mhm.
because Rudy is a comedian.
Of
So
course he is.
yeah, oh no, he really is like he really is a comedian. That whole like uh rap style of talking
Mhm.
that he does. That's what he would do in the comedy clubs, you know. Uh all right, so yeah, my one scene I'm either going with the woman on Angel Dust that uh cooks her baby,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah. Yeah.
really like just
Yeah.
like, yeah, we need that in there. I will do Bucky's freak out in the club,
Yeah.
which is
That's a
pretty
pretty good one.
hilarious.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Um, I will do the the drug dealers are trying to tap Rudy Ray Moore's phone.
Mhm.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
The the attack the whack
Mhm.
rally that looks
Yeah.
like it's in a parking lot, it's
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It literally looks like they got 20 people there, get real close in together. So it looks like there's a
Mhm.
bunch of people, and then they have like, flags waving,
Yeah.
Um, and I think it really goes down to like anything that Rudy Ray Moore says. Anytime
Yeah.
that he has dialogue online,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
dialogue on film,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that's my favorite scene because he never misses a beat to kind of make it weird
Uh,
or
yeah.
strange
Yeah.
or just cool as shit. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't
uh,
really hear anything that made it cool as shit, but yeah, the other two definitely.
well,
Strange, odd is the thing for me
that is
because
where
like
we
every
come to
time,
our
every
next,
time he delivers his lines, I'm
yeah,
just like,
any delivery, you know,
why
any,
are you saying it like that? Like
yeah,
that's what I kept
yeah,
thinking. Like, why are you saying it like that, man?
yeah, yeah, it's like, Rudy, I know he was a big fan of that was great.
Mhm.
It's like, you don't want to get a like
You don't want to try
second,
again?
yeah, you don't
Yeah.
want to try that again for like some protection, it's like,
Nah.
nah, fuck that.
Yeah. Nailed it.
What's the
Let's go.
protect? It's amazing. Uh but that leads us into our next thing, one-liners. What is your favorite one-liner in this? Because there are shit tons.
Yeah, I didn't really have one that made me like, I mean, there was shit that made me laugh, but there wasn't one that I was just like, I gotta remember that one.
Yeah,
Like yeah, because everything he says is so, rid- his delivery and what he says is so ridiculous
yeah,
that like none of it stands out more than anything else.
yeah. No.
So what are yours though? Because you clearly
My
have,
number one will definitely be put your weight on it
yeah,
because he
yeah,
says it like 100 times in the
yeah,
movie.
Yeah.
What has he had, obviously,
Yeah. That part's
which
funny.
is just great.
Yeah.
I even like where he's freaking out and he's just saying, "Mama,
Hmm.
Mama, what you doing, Mama?" And then like he does just that scream.
Yeah.
Um, that's the good stuff. I mean, yeah, there are definitely lines where it feels kind of like Rudy is trying to remember what he's supposed to say in this and going
Hmm.
fuck remembering and stuff where
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
sitting there and like uh his assistant comes in and like she's like, okay, at 4 o'clock you have to like interview the dancers,
Hmm.
and like she's going through his itinerary and stuff, and he's just sitting
Hmm.
on a chair, and like you can kind of see like he's supposed to kind of talk about like move the scene along, and he's
Yeah.
like, you amazingly gorgeous and stuff. He just starts like flirting, and
Yeah.
maybe that's what the character's supposed to do.
I mean, maybe, but
When am
chances
I
are
gonna
he should
get
be
you in bed?
moving. He should probably be like moving the scene along.
No, because
And
he's
he
like shit.
probably recorded the dialogue and they're
Probably.
like, nah, fuck it, cut it. Let's stick with the smooth talking.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
When am I gonna get you in bed? Just shit like that. Rudy just kind of like probably comes up on the fly, and they're just sitting around going, "That was fucking amazing, dude. That was awesome. We're totally putting that in the movie." So, but okay, we hit the one liners. Is there anything I'm missing? I gotta write this shit down again.
I mean,
um,
the only other thing is
the Trinity.
so I have it written on this table.
Okay,
So it
you got it written
show
on a table.
yeah, show stealers, show breaker, notable effects, cinema wow, quotable line at one moment. This is the old list. Sound score, meat potatoes,
All right, well,
bunnies were yeah, so I guess technically the Trinity.
thriller kill, man. What do you what would this movie be? Thriller kill.
Both somehow. Like it's
Somewhere in
both.
the middle.
Yeah, it's like yeah, and that's not a common answer. Like most of the time it's one or the other.
Right.
And for some reason this one I was just like, is it fucking over? Oh
Oh.
my god, this is amazing. Like it was both of them at the same time. It's
Right.
so weird. For
Like,
you, was it thrilling or killing?
oh, it's thrilling. I
Yeah.
love this movie.
Yeah, I know.
I've mentioned, I think since we've started doing this, I've always like, oh, we need to do a Rudy Ray Moore movie really bad. Fucking yeah, it's thrilling. So cult, is this cult classic?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, within
One,
its lane,
yeah,
like
within its
within
line.
its
Yeah.
lane, yeah,
I think this, like, Rudy Ray Moore movies, the more you watch, the more you enjoy because you get it. I
yeah,
think there is a little tongue-in-cheek idea to Rudy Ray Moore movies, but I think the more you watch it, the more you get it.
yeah.
And this isn't like Shaft or The
Hmm.
Mac or any of those other exploitative movies back in the 70s and 80s. This is something different. This is
Yeah,
almost like it's supposed to be like a serious comedy, but there's not like it's not like a comedy like Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke, has
right,
jokes in it.
right.
But imagine if it didn't have jokes in it. It was just a regular story about two guys
Yeah,
trying to find weed.
that's a good way to describe
Yeah,
these movies, his movies.
yeah,
I think that that's a really good way to describe it because, um, it it's kind of shitty to say, but they took the comedy out of the movie,
yeah,
and whatever you had left is this movie.
yeah.
Um,
Well, purpose comedy, because that's where the unexpected becomes really funny.
mhm.
Like the white guy dancing in the club,
Yeah, yeah,
or this or that. So There are just moments that are actually genuinely funny, but not
Yeah,
like
but they
wrote
weren't written that
down.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah, they weren't written that way. They just
right,
happened to be funny.
right.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. All right. Would you go pay to see this in the theater?
Maybe in the 70s when
Maybe in
movies were like 10 cents.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna say no. Okay. Because I enjoy this just on like a little TV
Right.
personally. Like
Mhm.
I wouldn't want to go like see this. Like, yeah, it's a great movie. It's fun. And yeah, I guarantee hearing that crowd just kind of laugh, kind of like in a Rocky Horror Picture Show or,
Mhm.
type of movie where you see the interaction of other people who enjoy this. But I kind of
Right.
enjoy it just by myself. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no
Yeah.
on this
I
one.
mean, by today's standards, I wouldn't go. But
Yeah.
by like 70s standards,
Yeah.
yeah, probably.
I would go, but wearing a scream mask or something. All right, let's throw down the stars. Where are you putting the stars at?
I don't know, man, because like in reality, this is like a 2.5 star movie, but I feel like that's disrespectful. But I also can't go as high as like 3.5. So like it I guess three. I guess three. 2.5, three, three. Yeah, I'll go three.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3.5 on this. I
Okay.
really enjoy it, but yeah, when
Yeah.
you really like peel back the the funny bad
Mhm.
aspect and the act, and when you peel all of it back and you're just laid with a bare bones movie, it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you as an audience member find personally like funny things in it, then that makes the movie yours and different. But when you're
Right.
just
Right.
throwing it down, it's a good 3.5, better than average kind of like deal, but not much. So
Fair enough.
yeah, man.
All right. Well, that's our review of Disco Godfather. And we'll be back with more some other time. Something
Yeah,
else.
yeah,
Some other
exactly.
movie. Some
Yeah,
some sort of
some other
movie.
time.
Some
Right.
other time. It's not right now.